Marvel fans first meet Jennifer Walters, Tatiana Maslany, modest but loving family in the second chapter of her story, where they bring their 30-something daughter over for dinner. The focus on Jennifer's family in the episode is limited to the humorous scenes in which her mother tries to hook her up with a stranger and the revelation that her family is just as proud of their daughter's new abilities as they are of her brother's advancement at Best Buy. It would seem that having a superhero in the family is only really noteworthy if you live in the MCU. But Jennifer's family is brought up again in the episode's post-credits scene. She-Hulk helps the Walter family cross off certain errands and home chores as any regular family with a Hulk would, especially one who isn't going to smash the walls uncontrollably. She-Hulk lifts the family car as her brother and father argue over tires as we observe. Jennifer may be seen helping to install a new flat-screen TV and carrying water bottles into the home. Hey, if your sister or daughter were She-Hulk, wouldn't you approach them for assistance? True, enormous power entails great convenience. She-Hulk. Attorney-at-Law's lack of a Daredevil or other teaser may irritate some Marvel fans. The post-credits scenes, though, aren't necessarily meant to hint at what comes next. In fact, the teasers for Marvel movies that do this are among the most monotonous ever. While it was neat to hear the word Avengers uttered back in Iron Man, not all of the franchise's post-credits scenes have elicited that same level of boundless excitement. The teaser for Thor and Iron Man 2 was, debatably, just as exciting as Fury teasing the Avengers. But the post-credits scene actually hyping the Avengers at the end of Thor was comparatively a dud, slamming audiences with a bunch of incomprehensible jargon, a morose tone, and a confusing bit showcasing Loki's, Tom Hiddleston, control of Dr. Erik Selvig, Stellan Skarsgård. By the way, the scene doesn't even make sense, as Selvig was turned by Loki on screen in the Avengers. So what's the next most memorable post-credits scene in Phase 1? It wasn't about Thanos or the Infinity Stones. It was seeing the battle-worn, exhausted, possibly traumatized Avengers eating shawarma. Thank goodness for She-Hulk and that Bruce Campbell was prepared to punch himself for Multiverse of Madness. Even if none of its post-credits scenes stand out as particularly memorable, it's comforting to know that this universe can still be enjoyable without spending a lot of time establishing secret wars or other plot points. The end of the world has actually happened to characters in the MCU. You can't blame them for occasionally wanting something a little less demanding.